I don't know how I'm gonna do this without you.
You can do it. You're gonna be fine.
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you are sleeping. In the show, every patient has to be quite motivated if he really wants to change his lifestyle by losing weight, which is obviously too hard to turn around by quitting bad eating habits of years and starting relying on a standard 1,200-calorie diet and exercise. Therefore, many patients lost their patience and didn't even make an effort. So, in today's video, you will see some guests that didn't even try on my 600-pound life. Lanitha Reed. Because of 40-year-old Lanitha Reed's overweight complications, she has been living in pain from past years. So, she joined Dr. Now's weight loss program after making up her mind to finally say goodbye to this pain by losing her weight. It was discovered after being a part of the weight loss journey that because of her diabetes, she overeats. Because her diabetes makes her drive crazy and urges her to have sugar-based food. So, for that, she decided to follow a strict diet plan given by Dr. Now and started doing exercise in her friend's gym. Despite the fact that she lost 30 pounds and was making progress in her journey, she had to put her program on hold because of her daughter. According to her, she prioritized her daughter's health over her, and she also had to generate a better work-life balance. But Dr. Now pushed her to keep her health under check because health comes first while handling over all matters of life. By the way, at the end of her episode, Dr. Now revealed that Lanitha had missed more than one appointment with him. To answer all of his query, she shared with the bariatric surgeon during a video conference that being a single parent, she was too busy to focus on his weight loss program. Cynthia Wells. Cynthia Wells first appeared on the show weighing at 610 pounds and revealed that after giving birth to her youngest kid, she ended up in immobility by gaining 480 pounds. After she stopped taking care of herself as she's too busy being a mother while taking care of her kids, therefore, even performing the menial tasks, she started getting exhausted and helpless. Not just that, her 11-year-old daughter looks after her just like a 40-year-old woman and manages her smelly folds of fat every morning. So, eventually, she started realizing that now it's the time that she really needs to create a change, especially after watching her daughter's dance recital for the very first time. So, she decided to seek Dr. Now's help and admitted that she eats even when she's full just because the food tastes good. But after joining the Dr. Now program, Cynthia made her name in the list of the most controversial and bullheaded type of contestants on my 600-pound life show. Because she was too rigid and usually in denial about her eating habits, and even called Dr. Now's program bullshit. So, after quitting the show, she returned to her home and claimed that we don't need to do this anymore. She's okay. Bethany Stout. In the beginning of Bethany Stout's episode, who was 40 years old at the time, was quite honest about her overeating problems. She shared on the show that food was always a happy place to her, and if she ever could get a chance, then she would like to even trade food for sleep. She also shared that throughout the day, her husband Sheldon and her daughter Isabella are the ones who usually bring food to her, but during her first appointment with Dr. Now, Bethany denied that her husband was the one who enabled her to overeat. Not just that, as she was also seen convincing the camera crew of how well she was doing in her life in the course of the first few weeks of her weight loss journey. But the fact is that in reality, that wasn't the case with her, as she wasn't doing well, and it was eventually revealed on the next follow-up appointment with Dr. Now that she had only lost 14 pounds. She kept claiming with audacity in front of Dr. Now, despite the results showing otherwise, that she has been following the 1,200-calorie diet given by him. But in the entire episode, she was just lying about sticking to the diet plan. However, being stubborn, she still managed to qualify for gastric bypass surgery. But there's a twist. I mean, what else you can expect from Bethany? Actually, she started gaining again because she returned back to her old bad eating habits. And despite accepting her fault, she convincingly says in the entire episode that she has been following Dr. Now's advice. Since her weight loss surgery hasn't worked as she expected, she started gaining piles and piles of weight, and ultimately, she quit the program. Jean Covey. Jean, at the age of 40, came on the show. She used to totally depend on her parents to perform almost every daily do task, even the basic ones. Not just her, but Jean's whole household seemed pretty miserable and depressed. Actually, When she was first featured on the show, she was basically facing immobility due to her and her mother's poor hygiene. Because of that neglect and hygiene, she was also facing affected growth on her leg that's constantly bleeding. While on the road trip to Houston with her mother to meet Dr. Now, she ordered a really big soda to combat her stress. I mean, what a healthy decision she made. Well, when she got there at Dr. Now's place, he asked her to stand on the scale for weigh-in. It revealed that her weight was 702 pounds at that time. So Dr. Now suggested to her that she should be hospitalized to deal with her infection before it would kill her. She eventually lost 53 pounds during her stay in the hospital, but she wasn't happy about the diet plan that was given by Dr. Now and was told that she's supposed to lose the rest of her 100 pounds on her own. Instead of losing weight at her home, she started gaining 30 pounds later, but because of her confidence in herself, Dr. Now gave her another chance to lose 100 pounds in the coming 60 days. She was so confident that she even claimed that at the next appointment with Dr. Now, she's going to shove her progress in his face. But in the whole 2 months, she only lost 8 pounds. What an irony. I mean, that's what we call overconfidence. By the way, something quite sad and tragic happened during Jean's episode. Actually, her father passed away, which really made her depressed. Therefore, she eventually gave up on her weight loss journey. Well, after that tragic incident, Jean's life started becoming much more terrible because her mother fell ill, and so she had to undergo this gastric surgery alone. But to make things right for herself, she did something surprising. She sued my 600-pound-day production company and claimed that the company was supposed to pay the expenses of her mother's medical treatments as they promised to do, but the company didn't fulfill its promise. She further asserted that she and her mother said no to being on the show, but they were forced to appear. Aaron Washer. Aaron started binge eating since childhood and used food for his comfort. Therefore, he started gaining weight at a very young age, especially when he lost his mother, who died as a result of her own weight problems at the age of 27. He tried his best to lose his weight, but he struggled a lot while watching her die. So due to that, he continued to pile on pounds and pounds. Aaron's obesity accelerated when after his mother died. He had to originally move back home so he could take care of his father, and that's why he stopped going outside almost entirely. He has a sister who helps him to perform his basic tasks efficiently as he couldn't. Therefore, he made up his mind to visit Dr. Now at 718 pounds to seek his help. Well, though, he started making slow progress in the start of his weight loss journey, but he didn't give up and kept struggling. He shared with Dr. Now that his biggest weakness is peanut butter and bread. Yeah, friend, I can't blame you. Peanut butter is heavenly tasty. He was seen claiming on the show that it's hard for him to turn off the temptation for his comfort food. Joyce Dell. It was discovered at the start of Joyce's episode that the 44-year-old woman, who was in so much bad condition, hadn't left the house for years, and because of that, she had become totally dependent on home health care 24/7. Because of overeating, she has been struggling to walk, and she overeats just to cope with her past abuse. She shared in her episode that her life has reached a point where all she urges for is food, but her body was close enough to give up at a height of 4'11", and as she was weighing 758 pounds at the time when her episode was aired. When Joyce met Dr. Now to seek his help, he kept her under his supervision in the hospital on a controlled diet so she could make changes and be encouraged for physical therapy. Despite losing some weight and making progress, people were actually stunned to see her when she started regaining her weight up to 58 pounds. After receiving a last chance from Dr. Now, she still failed to meet her goal. Not only this, she didn't accept her fault, and she went on calling physical therapy abusive and claimed that the program was failing her. But during the episode, she even contradicted herself. Well, after refusing to follow Dr. Now's instructions, her failure started. Dr. Now told her to be active as it will help her to progress, but she convinced herself that Dr. Now's program has failed her. But in reality, we all know who failed. Crystal Hall. This patient is definitely one of the participants that appeared on Season 9 for whom your heart aches for. Among all other My 600-Pound Life patients on the show, Crystal is refreshingly the only one who was honest about her eating struggles with Dr. Now. She confessed upfront that she literally eats a lot, as she can have mini cheeseburgers at breakfast and can binge eat until she feels like she is about to explode. Before diving into Crystal's traumatic past, just know that the reason behind her overeating was that she feels the need to eat so much. Her overweight not only has started affecting her health conditions, but her whole life. Therefore, all of these started bringing her down, as well as she was seen trying to work on herself to achieve her goal by approving for her weight loss surgery. For this, she made a goal to lose 40 pounds, but unfortunately, she doesn't make this happen. On her journey, she only loses 27 pounds and once again must prove herself not being close enough to her goal, as she is still overeating. Well, it's nothing but a shame and definitely a disappointment. That's all guys for today, with guests that didn't even try on my 600-pound life. Thanks for watching.